At long last, the boys of summer are back. The long, cold winter is over. Opening day at Fifth Third Field, the T-Town triple header. We've got live coverage coming up.
Plus, an out-of-state development company wants to build low-income housing here. We look at the pros and the cons. And the 911 call from inside a plane from the worker who fell asleep in the cargo hold when the plane took off.
Our chance of rain diminishing this evening. Tomorrow, beautiful. Saturday, maybe 2 in a row.
But we begin tonight with the moment Mud Hen fans have been waiting for months for, opening day at Fifth Third Field. Welcome to Action News at 5. I'm Diane Larson.
And I'm Lee Conklin at Fifth Third Field. And Diane, I tell you, we had the rain earlier. It has since moved out. And about an hour into the ball game, it really couldn't be more pleasant for opening day here at Fifth Third Field. We'll talk about the score in just a minute, but set you up first for this T-Town triple header. We see a few empty seats in the stands right now. That's because a lot of the people are just enjoying the day. They're at the picnic tables, underneath the tents, the corporate tents, underneath the concourses, just walking around, just enjoying the flavor of springtime. Opening day baseball in Toledo, Ohio. Mud Hens off to a great start in the season, starting the season on the road 4-2. They come back to start against the Columbus Clippers here at home. The first of 2 ball games here, 2 7-inning games, and they'll culminate a huge day in downtown Toledo with the ECHL playoffs. The Walleye taking on the Wheeling Nailers. More on that coming up a little bit later. First, let's bring in Sports Director Dave Holmes and get an update on the ball game. We've got the best seats in the house, Dave, right behind second base.
Yeah, we have a good seat here. Now, so far, not much scoring in this game. In fact, the Clippers don't have a hit. It's 0-0. Mud Hens had a little action going in the second inning. Mike Hessman led the inning off with a double, but then an inning-ending double play. Josh Wilson hitting a one. Clippers made a great play on it. We'll show you it later in the show. So, right now, it's 0-0 in the 4th inning. But here, something you might not notice, all right? If you come to the ballpark, let's take a look at something new this year. They have a pitch clock. It's kind of like a shot clock in basketball. They're all over the ballpark here. And what happens is as soon as the pitcher catches the ball, he has 20 seconds to throw it, to start his windup. If he doesn't, they give them an automatic ball. They're trying to speed up the game this year. Here's what the Hens think about it.
And it's an adjustment. So it's something new that these guys have never had to deal with time. You know, it's good to try and speed up the game and obviously make it go as quick as you can, but it's still the game and you don't want to interfere too much with it. You know, so hopefully we'll be able to speed up the game, but it won't be a distraction to the guys.
So far, so good. The pace has been very good so far. And right now, the Mud Hens have something working here, Lee. They have second and third with 2 outs, though. But second and third, Hens have a chance to get on the board first. It's 0-0 right now.
And dare I jinx it, but we could have a 7-inning no-hitter going.
Oh, it's over now. What are you doing? You've seen too much baseball.
Kyle Ryan.
You've watched way too much baseball to do that.
Well, we'll see if the Hens can push a run across
That's
here.
right. They're looking good.
And we'll see you a little bit later on.
Sure.
All right, Sports Director Dave Holmes got you covered. 2 ball games here, and of course the Walleye a little bit later on. Now, another way to enjoy the baseball game for those who have serious food allergies, there's another option here at Fifth Third Field this year. 13 ABC's Melissa Veitch is somewhere out there with more on that part of the story. Melissa, where are you?
Well, we're over here. We're by first base, right down the line here, Lee. And it's really exciting to be at a live baseball game. But, part of the other experience is, of course, the food that you eat when you're here. There's hot dogs, there's popcorn, and there's peanuts. It's almost synonymous with the sport. It is Americana. But for people with the peanut allergies, it can actually be life-threatening to come to a ball club like this. So the Toledo Mud Hens are putting aside 2 special days just for them. Vinny Maitland is a rambunctious 3-year-old. Very healthy, as Mother April says, except for a life-threatening peanut allergy.
His whole face will swell up. We have to take him to the emergency room right away. We carry EpiPens with us wherever we go.
It's a challenge to control Vinny's exposure to peanut products on a daily basis. At the ballpark, impossible. Baseball is synonymous with peanuts in the stands.
Last time we were here, there was someone in front of us eating peanuts, and he noticed it and he wanted to touch them, and I'm like, don't touch, don't touch, don't touch.
While April and other families respect everyone else's right to enjoy the game, the Toledo Mud Hens is respecting their right to do the same. It's holding 2 peanut-free zone games this season.
We've gotten a lot of calls over the last probably 3 or 4 years.
Craig Nelson runs a Cut Above Catering that does all the food service for the Mud Hens. He himself is allergic to peanuts and realizes the need to provide a safe environment for others with this allergy to enjoy a game.
It's a challenge, to have that be a top selling item and then try to balance it.
The peanut-free zone will be located on the suite level.
We've taken a couple of our rental party suites and we're going to clean them from top to bottom.
And for these 2 days, they'll clear the area.
We won't sell peanuts or any peanut products on our suite level, club level for that day.
Welcome news for April and Vinny, who are avid baseball fans.
We'll get to enjoy it much easier with him, and I'll be able to enjoy it much better too.
Now, the suites that we're talking about are right over my left shoulder here. They are right in the corner there, right in left field. And if you'd like more information on these 2 days, again, they are the 21st and the 23rd of April. We'll put the information on 13abc.com. Reporting live, Melissa Vage, 13ABC Action News.
All right, Melissa, thanks very much. Talked about the rain moving out about half an hour or so ago. We had a pretty good shower earlier, but right now it's really beautiful. Cloudy skies, but so comfortable as far as temperatures are concerned. Let's see if that'll last through the rest of this doubleheader. Check in with Chief Meteorologist Jay Burschback with a first look. Jay?
And thank you, Lee. It looks like it will hold for the rest of the doubleheader, even if folks are walking from Fifth Third to the Huntington Center. Not a bad walk there, of course, just down the street. Here is the latest on Live Doppler 13,000 HD. Had those showers move through. Really, the heaviest rain stayed west of Toledo. And now that rainfall, the heaviest, up in parts of Michigan, Tecumseh, Dundee, Monroe. And the motion on this is off to the north and east. So looking upstream, this area, not a whole lot out there. Maybe a brief sprinkle, maybe a brief area of drizzle later tonight, but really chance of rainfall diminishing as I speak, and temperatures, they are cozy. Lee mentioned this as well, upper 50s and lower 60s. As far as specifics, the triple header forecast here, it's already game on, right? Few sprinkles possible, upper 50s at 7, upper 50s still at 9, and mid 50s there at 11 o'clock. And if you didn't get a chance to get outside today, wait till you see the forecast for tomorrow and the start of our weekend. 2 absolutely beautiful days on the horizon. More on that in a few minutes. Stay with us. Diane?
We'll get back to Fifth Third Field in just a little bit, but first some breaking news is to tell you about right now. A judge has denied the city's request to keep weapons out of the mix at Saturday's planned neo-Nazi rally. According to court documents, a judge just dismissed the city's request. The court said it does not have the jurisdiction to decide the issue. We talked to a spokesperson for the city of Toledo, and we're told the mayor is talking with the law director about its next step. We'll bring you any new information as soon as we get it. This breaking news also to a story we've been following since yesterday. The body of a man found floating in the river was identified late this afternoon as 41-year-old Paul Barnes. According to our media partner, The Blade, a preliminary autopsy indicated that Barnes likely drowned, but the coroner is still waiting for the results of toxicology tests to come back before making a final ruling. His body was found yesterday floating in the river behind the Imagination Station. A Missouri-based development company wants to build a new subdivision on Bennett Road for low-income residents. Some people living around there say they're concerned. So tonight, Toledo City Councilwoman Lindsay Webb is holding an informational meeting. 13 ABC's Christian Brown has the story.
The Facino Group wants to build 55 single-family homes right here on this lot on Bennett, but some residents are concerned.
If they're so involved in this, why don't they put it in the state of Missouri?
Chuck Kistner has lived along Bennett for more than 20 years.
I just don't know how it's going to swing.
The Facino Group is looking into purchasing the property from Mayfair Plymouth Congregational Church. Check out the renderings. The goal is to build 55 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single-family homes for residents making 60% less of the median income.
It'd be fine if you put a housing addition in and they were going to, you knew it was going to be taken care of. But if you're low income, it's hard. We can look around the city. Some of these other places they built for, what, housing for humanity and that. Behind St. Vincent's, them houses, some of them aren't 10 years old and they're boarded up already.
Pastor of Mayfair Plymouth Congregational Church says Bennett Springs will not be Section 8 housing.
The housing that they're doing is Section 42 housing, which creates wonderful opportunities for people who are a little down and out, many of whom would qualify in our own community with the same credentials.
Councilwoman Lindsay Webb says she's received close to 80 calls on the matter from her constituents, so she's holding a meeting tonight to hear what residents have to say about the proposal. And this pastor says it's just that, a proposal.
No, it's not a done deal. It's an exploratory period. We did have a purchase agreement back in December, but they did not qualify for the tax credits.
The deadline for the next cycle of tax credits through the Ohio Housing Tax Credit Program is February 2016. In Toledo, Christian Brown, 13 ABC Action News.
And tonight's meeting is at the Regina Chaley Catholic Church at 530 Regina Parkway. It takes place in Cotts Hall at 7 p.m. Still to come, the dramatic 911 call from an airline worker stuck inside a cargo hold when a plane took off.
This is 13 ABC Action News with Diane Larson and Lee Conklin.
Welcome back, everyone. It is time for the Blade Briefing live from Fifth Third Field at the T-Town triple header. To give you the quick update, Mud Hens and Columbus Clippers still knotted up at 0. And the Mud Hens left-handed pitcher Kyle Ryan still throwing a no-hitter through 4 innings. We'll see what develops in this 7-inning game, first game of the doubleheader. We want to talk about hockey right now with Frank Corso, Blade Sports editor. Playoffs in town tonight, Frank. The Walleye, incredible turnaround from last year. And one of the best records, if not the best record in the ECHL this year going into tonight's playoff game.
Lee, it's been a dominant performance by the Walleye this season. They won the Bramham Cup, which is symbolic of supremacy in the ECHL. They had a Rookie of the Year in Tyler Barnes. They had a Coach of the Year in Derek Lalone. That's a hat trick in anybody's book, so you can't beat that. They finished 31 points ahead of Wheeling, and now they're playing Wheeling. Now, Lee, the sad thing about it is all that doesn't matter.
Away, right?
We're in a 7-game survival of the fittest kind of game.
And in hockey, we tend to see upsets in the playoffs more than it seems like any other sport. 8 can beat 1. 4 can beat 5. I mean, this seems to run the gamut on upsets in hockey.
Absolutely,
hockey.
absolutely, Lee. You're absolutely correct, because 8-1 in the NHL, no big deal.
Right.
4-1, not a big deal either. And you're looking at a Wheeling team that is the most penalized team in the ECHL. On the other hand, the Walleye are the least penalized team. The Walleye capitalized, wonderful power play. A.J. Jenks, Kyle Bonus. They can score, put the biscuit in the basket, Lee.
So we'll look for the Nailers to try to muck it up a little bit, right?
Every first-round game on the road, Lee, it's always, are you ready to play? Are you mentally ready to play? They'll be ready to play against Wheeling.
All right, right next door, right down the street. Get done with this doubleheader. Hopefully thousands of folks migrate their way to the Huntington Center, watch the Walleye play in the playoffs.
Absolutely. It'll be a great game.
All right. Frank Corso, thanks very much.
Lee, it's great meeting you in person.
Yeah, nice to meet you in person. Not in that double box that you see from time to time.
Yep.
All right, let's talk about the weather. Great right now. What about the rest of this doubleheader? Jay touched on that. And working our way through the weekend to and beyond. Let's check in. Chief Meteorologist Jay Burschbach with your full forecast. Jay?
And thank you, Lee. Good to see no umbrellas open downtown, and that's the case for most of this doubleheader. Into the evening, maybe a stray sprinkle, but really the highest chance of rain has passed on through. Here's live Doppler 13,000 HD showing that steadier green to our north. Monroe, Dundee northward, some rain, but for most, it's just a sprinkle or two. Nice zoom in here of the Toledo area, including downtown, looking dry at this time. And over at the Toledo Botanical Garden, got some video from earlier today of some beautiful flowers. Doesn't that just look like spring? Although some leaves there. Yeah, that's from last fall, so a reminder of what's coming in a few months. But great colors, things looking great with our recent rain. And a little breeze out there just to kind of shake things up a little bit. Nice view there again from the Toledo Botanical Garden. As far as our weather in motion, watching this batch of rain again, wasn't that big, wasn't that heavy, but most of it now pushing to the northeast. Still lots of cloud cover moving through this evening, but as far as that rainfall that would impact the game downtown, looks like improving. Even the infield here has dried out from that earlier shower. Temperature is 58 degrees. The winds are calm. Dew point way up from earlier, now at 53 degrees. Last couple of days, we've talked about how dry it's been out there. Well, that's what held the rain off for most of the day, but finally did produce some of those sprinkles and light showers. 59 degrees Oregon and downtown. We have 58 in North Toledo. How about 60 for Perrysburg, Rossford, Sylvania 58, Toledo 58, and Maumee at 59 degrees. As we zoom out, other temperatures, 60 is where it didn't rain very much today, including BG, a little shower about 3-4 o'clock today, but otherwise it was dry. 63 Findlay, and the cool spot where it's currently raining up in Monroe, Michigan, you're at 57. Let's get to your forecast now with Predictor. You will notice behind me for the evening these little teeny blips of green. That's the chance of a sprinkle just moving throughout the night through about 11 o'clock or 12. Thereafter, skies become clear to the west, partly cloudy to the east, and check out your Friday. Clearing skies, warm with highs, it looks like, for just about everybody at or above 70 degrees. How about a repeat? We're going to do just that. In fact, more sunshine Saturday, early sun, midday sun, maybe a few late clouds, but it will be dry and just as warm as tomorrow. So enjoy a couple days here, almost early summertime weather. For tonight, your low 47, chance of rain ending around midnight and more like chance of sprinkles ending. South winds becoming westerly 5 to 10. For tomorrow, happy Friday, 73, mostly sunny and warm. Thumbs up for sure. Winds from the northwest here at 5 to 10. Now your 7-day forecast. 73 tomorrow, 72, 73 on Saturday. How about a detailed weekend forecast? Obvious here, which day is the pick day for outdoor plans? Definitely Saturday. Beautiful, dry, warm. Sunday, we are expecting showers and storms. The chance of rain now up to about 70%. Much the same for Monday with a high of 68 degrees. More showers and storms there, and behind that system, cooler and dry. That hasn't changed for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Each day some sun, each day some clouds, and each day highs between 57 and 58. So we have some spring showers out there, but two beauties. That would include tomorrow and at least the first half of the weekend. And the weather, crossing our fingers, holding out okay, right? Yeah, not bad today, and tomorrow they have a game tomorrow evening too. So folks, for a Friday night, maybe the first Friday home game, that'll be packed with beautiful evening weather. Well, we want to check in on the weather and the action out at Fifth Third Field for the Mud Hens opening day, and that's where Lee Conklin is. Lee.
Diane, still waiting for that first run to come across home plate right now. Knotted up in the 5th inning. Zeros on the board right now. But it's not just the score that people are interested in. It's just enjoying the experience of opening day and coming down and watching minor league baseball and their Toledo Mud Hens. 13 ABC's Amy Montgomery with some of the fans just enjoying the T-Town tripleheader. Amy.
Hey, Lee, you know what? This is the day that a lot of Toledoans, they wait for. Some people even take off work specifically so that they can be here today. Go and take a look. It may seem that the seats are a little bit empty, but if you look at the concourse here, you can barely get through. People really enjoying themselves. They're taking in the food, they're taking in the sights, and specifically the atmosphere. Even before we were able to make our way into the stadium, we were walking just around the stadium here downtown. People are tailgating. They're just having an all-around good time. But let's face it, that's what Mud Hens baseball is really all about. Another thing people really like about being here today is that it's the unofficial kickoff to spring and summer here in downtown Toledo. Gives people more opportunities to come out here to eat the good food and really just to enjoy all that Toledo has to offer. So as I mentioned, people definitely excited about opening day today. Many of them have been planning what they were going to do today for months, and now it's finally here. Reporting live, Amy Montgomery, 13 ABC Action News.
All right, Amy, thank you. And last year, over 500,000 people came through the turnstiles here, and they expect to have at least that many people this season, if not more, once again. And Amy mentioned some empty seats out there, but I mean, the concourses are filled, the picnic areas are filled. People are just walking around, enjoying the experience, and waiting for somebody to score here. So we can see the Mud Hens take the lead. We'll have continued updates on that. More from the ballpark. Opening day at Fifth Third Field coming up in the next, well, hour and 15 minutes or so. The rest of this evening newscast. Diane, back to you.
All right, Lee, thanks much. Still to come on 13 ABC Action News at 5, the dramatic 911 call from an airline worker stuck in a cargo hold.
An outbreak of the dog flu has pet owners concerned. Tonight, a vet weighs in on what you can do to protect your dog. That's next at 5:30. 13 ABC Action News at 5 continues in a moment.
We're learning new information about the Seattle airline worker who fell asleep in the cargo hold. The 911 tape of his call from inside was just released. The sleepy SeaTac airport worker used the cargo hold of an Alaska Airlines 737 for a nap. He woke up in a full panic when the flight took off for Los Angeles.
You're where? Are you at the airport? I'm inside the plane. I feel like it's moving in the air. Flight 448, can you please show somebody stop it? Are you by yourself or are you with somebody? Please.
The call then dropped as the plane flew out of range. The operator figured out, though, where the call was coming from. But officials say despite that 911 call, the key factor in this rescue was the passengers on board. They were the ones who notified the crew after they heard banging and screaming coming from beneath them. A Florida man facing criminal charges after he landed his gyrocopter on the front lawn of the U.S. Capitol. His stunt is raising major concerns about security. Doug Hughes flew his gyrocopter through the no-fly zone before landing on the Capitol's west lawn. But sources say the gyrocopter was too small, too slow, and too low to be detected by radar. Hughes told friends and family that he wanted to deliver letters to lawmakers demanding change in campaign finance laws.
And I'm going to land on the Capitol Mall in front of the Capitol building.
What he wanted to do was very brave and all that, even if a little bit stupid.
Snipers were reportedly ready to shoot him down if he got too close to the Capitol. After his initial court appearance today, Hughes was released from federal custody to go back to Florida. Presidential candidate Hillary Clinton is under fire for some remarks she made about her grandparents. It happened yesterday during a talk about immigration in Iowa.
All my grandparents, came over here, and my grandfather went to work in a lace mill in Scranton, Pennsylvania, and worked there until he retired at 65. He started when he was a teenager and, just kept going.
But BuzzFeed is calling her out, saying that only one of Clinton's 4 grandparents immigrated to the U.S. from England. A spokesperson says Clinton always thought her grandparents as immigrants because they all talked about the immigrant experience. Coming up, sometimes you have to just let it go, even politicians. The embarrassing interruption at a Congress committee meeting today when we come back. The U.S. Congress takes care of serious business of running the country, but sometimes the softer side pokes through. Check out Senator Pat Roberts' very popular ringtone, which interrupted a committee meeting today.
Preference issue.
Come on. Just let it go, Mr. Senator. Sorry about that.
Yes, that was the Let It Go ringtone from the Disney hit Frozen. The committee was talking about U.S. tariff policy, so the Disney tune was probably a welcome break. The senator later tweeted, "Somebody had to tell the Obama administration to let it go." Not as funny to some. Well, that does it for us for 13 ABC Action News at 5. 13 ABC Action News at 5:30 coming up next.